Hi everybody, how are you? It's Jay Victoria, the Energy Queen. Okay, so let's do this. The election results came in. This is a very sobering, crazy time for a lot of us. A lot of people are saying, like, you don't need to go save the world today. That's a message for some people, you don't. For others, like me, I actually took the day off work so that I can talk more about this because I know that this is a major part of my job. And this will be the time for a lot of people to step up in new ways because it shows us how much the world needs our message, needs our work. There are people out there hurting. There are people out there frozen and confused. There are people out there in fear. I work with fear because I work with energy. Negative energy is fear. I clear negative energy. That's fear. So I had an interview, I'm gonna drop that in the description because it's a really good interview I did with this other YouTuber, Helki Rain, and she asked me about what's it like, kind of like, working with energy and then going out into the normal world. And I was like, there's no difference because we're just all living in, the world, which is a reflection of the energy world. This is a manifestation of the energy world. That's how real the energy world is. It's everywhere. So of course I'm going to talk about the election. There's a lot of issues going on within this that are teaching us things. So I'm going to get into it. I have so many revelations coming to me super fast, but I'm going to try to kind of give a breakdown on what I know so far. And there are a lot of things to say. So the first thing I want to say is that when something challenging happens, it is truly an opportunity to grow. I'm going to give a few examples from my life. So I work with energy, and so that would make me, in some people's eyes, super spiritual. And so people might think, oh, well, your life must be perfect because you work with energy. The truth is, I have the ability to dissolve things from my energy fast. Jesus taught me how to do that, gave me that ability for myself, for others. So yeah, I can actually change my reality because your energy creates your reality pretty fast. And I do that every day. I do it as much as I can because, like, why would you not? It's like improving any aspect of your life. If you want to be fit, you exercise and eat well. If you want to have a positive reality, you clear your energy of negativity. You're going to see less negativity. Just how it is. So of course I do that, but life is always going to be happening, and the purpose of life is to help you grow. That's one of the purposes of life. It's like pretty much like the main thing, I think, is to help you grow as a soul. And so I get put through things that I know baffle people sometimes. I have been through homelessness here in New York. This year, only a few months ago, I was living with a roommate who threatened to rape me. And he left handwritten notes in our apartment, and I had to leave the next morning. Just like that. I didn't even have anywhere to go. I had to go out on the street, and luckily I had friends, family, people who cared about me, strangers donating money to me to help me get a new place. I had strangers give me their apartment that they hadn't moved into yet in Queens for like a week. Just kindness. So now I'm in a beautiful apartment. Well, that's way better than the place I was living. So at the surface, things like that look like bad. Like, some people might be looking at this like, this is bad. And I'm not saying that it's good. I would not say that getting rape threats is good. But what I'm saying is I wouldn't be in this gorgeous apartment that I'm in right now if that hadn't happened. I wouldn't be stronger. I wouldn't have grown in this very specific way that I have, to become fearless, it really like made me want to speak out for women more because I had never really been through something like that. And I know so many women have. I even only got threatened, you guys. I didn't actually get raped. And there are women who have been raped. And I'm like, how do you even deal with that? Because I still deal and grapple with mental and emotional aspects of what I went through, even though I wasn't actually raped. You know what I mean? So I know it's a really big deal. You're dealing with the police, you're dealing with whether people believe you or not, you're dealing with that person gaslighting you. He tried to like make himself look good to everybody around me. And I was like, he was texting my friends and I was just like, dude, so there can be things that happen that look bad on the surface and actually can, be bad on the surface. But when you look at the change that it forces you to go through, because I honestly, moving in New York, am I going to choose to leave an apartment and find a new one? Probably not, because that's why I stayed there for any amount of time, even though there were signs that this person is not quite well. But what am I going to do? I need a place to live. I'm busy. I don't have time to find a place. I don't have time for this. I'm making a list in my mind of all the things that are wrong. I talked to him. I'll get back to the election. But I'm just giving you a clear analogy of like something that is bad and it's bad, but like, are you going to do anything about it? Okay, well, like now you're forced to do something about it. When I had a handwritten note, I was like, well, there you go. There's no pretending that I'm safe here anymore. Especially when it's written down and you take a picture of it for the police. You know what I mean? So like, and there are two of them. By the time I saw the second one, I was like, oh, I'm really leaving. I was leaving when I saw the first one, and now I really, so, so what I'm saying is, you guys, this doesn't look good and it isn't necessarily good, but is it a chance for us to become strong in a very specific way? I think so. I think that, when I work with clients, when I work on myself, there are really two ways to grow. It's either you kind of like choose, like you like take the leap, like I'm going to do this, or life will force you. I think what happened with this election was we had a chance to elect a female president. We had a chance to have a new way forward. We had a real chance, and it actually was a really close election. Like we had a real chance, but maybe we are still going in that direction. Actually, we absolutely still are, but we're gonna do it the way that is the lesson learning path. Instead of just like, deciding I'm gonna do this, we're gonna go through the path where we're gonna get triggered, where we're going to be forced to change, where we're going to have no other choice but to change. We're gonna see, just like I did in my apartment, we're gonna see clearly the problems in our face, right? Like I knew there was a problem in my apartment. We also know there are problems with Trump and in society, okay? We know they're there. I got a handwritten note. We're gonna see what he does. And that's gonna make it, I think, irrefutable for us to pretend like certain things are okay in society anymore. So that's just the path we took. And we're still going in the same direction where we don't tolerate these things. We're gonna get stronger. But it's not just gonna be like, I could have moved out of my apartment and not had a rape threat. Well, we could have voted Kamala into office and had a lot of things fixed. But instead, it's like you're going the path where you're gonna be forced to change. You're gonna be forced to become strong. I already honestly feel stronger today because I realized today something that I think is really important that I wanna say to you, that it seems like we did not have a victory for women. We did not have a victory for a lot of people who really wanted one. We did not elect a god, you guys. We elected a politician, okay? You can still have that victory. I was in an apartment and I needed the victory of having a safe place to live. I could have moved out, but I also was forced out. Do I now today have a safe place to live? That's awesome and I love, yes. So you can still have victory. And I think the mistake that you could potentially make because of this election result, which is just an election result, which is just based on basically, I think it was like 3 million people voted one way versus the other, or a bunch of Democrats didn't show up, something like that. That's all it is. It doesn't mean that it's gonna control who you are. It doesn't mean that you don't have choices anymore. It doesn't mean that you can't fight for your rights and believe in your rights and live the way that you believe is right. I really think a lot of people are going to come out in the woodwork in support of Trump. And they probably already supported him secretly. And what he is, I'm going to be clear, is a mirror. He is a mirror for us. All the problems you see in him, you really have to ask yourself, are they in me? When you see him being racist, are you racist secretly at all? You know, when you see him being misogynistic, is there any part of you that believes what he's saying? Like, you really have to examine your soul here. And I really think, and I said this last time he was in office too, and last time he was running too. I've been talking about this for years and years. Like, it's the same old damn shit that we just need to have really in our face this time, because he's not going to change. But are we going to see the problems for what they are? Are the illusions around all these issues going to finally become clear? Are we going to see the rape note handwritten? You know, it's not a coincidence that this person who we've elected into office is a convicted rapist. You know what I mean? And yesterday I had the feeling, anyway, so basically, listen, it's like, it is not easy, you know, and it wasn't easy for me when I had to leave my apartment, but it was a necessary spiritual growth for me that it forced me through. And I am actually grateful to be stronger today. I feel like that experience prepared me to even talk about this. You know, we don't know how the spiritual world works, and it works in mysterious ways. But what I'm saying is, don't be fooled that just because he was elected that he's right. Don't be fooled that he's a good person because he's in office. Don't be fooled that, you know, everything he says is okay just because he's the president. You know, like, that's not what's going on. And what's going to happen is it will just become more clear who he is. And it's, again, not really about him. It's about us, what we tolerate, who we are. And I want to ask you, who are you choosing to be? A couple of weeks back, or maybe even just a week ago, I asked the question in Energy Update, who are you really voting for? Like, cast your energetic vote. Like, are you choosing love or hate? Are you choosing light or dark? Like, and today it's the same. Even if you're an avid Kamala supporter, are you choosing to be disempowered or are you choosing to be empowered? Like, you have a choice. Like, whatever he does and says, it has no power over you. He's not God. He's just in a job, you know? And so there's going to be a lot of necessary growth, but I think we're going to need a lot of really strong people to be really strong throughout this, because there's a temptation to kind of lay down and be like, maybe he's right. And maybe it's easier to kind of be like, you know, oh, maybe he's right. And I just feel more peaceful agreeing with him because he's the president and in power. And like, a lot of people agree with him, I guess. And like, that was probably easy to do during Nazi Germany as well. Right? This is what will happen, you guys. Throughout history, there are wars that happen. There are atrocities that happen. There are things that happen, okay? And they eventually come to an end. All of them do. And then with time and perspective, we look back and we see clearly what happened. That's going to happen with this too. And what I'm saying is, love is never defeated, ultimately. You know, for a time in Nazi Germany, Hitler, you know, perpetuated hate. Did he forever do it? No, because love always conquers hate. It might seem today like love lost, because if I'm being honest, the energy of these two camps, you know, the Democrats and the Republicans, this is not about Democrats or Republicans for me. It's about the energy of what these two options represented this time around. Kamala was very clearly about love. Trump was very clearly representing and speaking from negative energy for me. As an energy expert, he like completely is like the epitome of negative energy, because it lies. It will tell you anything you want to hear just to get you to do what it wants. It's self-serving. It never mentions the word love or speaks about love or light or togetherness. It never speaks about unity. He just like epitomized the entire thing. So for me, it was like so clear. One is negative, one is positive. That's just like, it was abundantly clear, actually, energetically. You know, no matter what your You know, I've had people be like, well, do your research on Kamala. It's like, I read energy, you know, that's what I'm talking about. That's my expertise. That's my field. That's what I'm going to speak on. And it was so clear. Okay. If you look at it that way. So if we as a nation chose someone negative to lead us, you know, negativity is also the same thing as fear. Someone who is a fear mongerer, right? To lead us probably out of fear, I'm going to guess. It's sad, but like, we're going to learn from that. You know, we're going to learn from that. We're going to see, it's like, I almost feel like if Kamala had won at this point in time, there would have been a lot of people who still maybe believed that she was the wrong choice or believed certain things. And it's like, I think we need to see how it plays out. We need to see it in our face. We need to see the handwritten rape note. Like, we need to see it, I guess, is what I'm saying. Because if it wasn't that clear to people, like there is an option here that is negative and one that's positive for us, and we chose negative, like it means that there are a lot of people who still need to learn this lesson. And I really think that we're all united. I know that we're all united energetically. So we have to look at ourselves. We can't even be like, oh, all those people voted for him. It's like, where did you, or where do you believe in negativity and hate? Where do you believe in fear? Like literally, like we need to look at our own souls. If this is showing up in our reality, we need to look at this. And that's why I'm showing up fearlessly today, because I'm choosing love. I'm choosing love, which is fearlessness. I'm choosing to be fearless, even though a lot of people might feel empowered now to say negative things about me because I'm not saying positive things about the president-elect. Well, you know, this is the choice we're all going to have to make for ourselves. Are you going to be somebody who stands up for what you believe in? Are you going to be somebody who's about love? You know, it's like the classic battle of good and evil is like what we're all going through right now. So what are you going to do? How are you going to deal with it? And are you going to be somebody who lets fear conquer you, or are you going to stand up against it? And let me tell you something about negative energy. It is nothing. It is illusion. It was already conquered by Jesus on the cross. It doesn't even inherently exist. Fear is just fear. It's not real. Energetically, that's how I clear fear in my sessions. I combine a positive energy with the fear, the negative energy inside of somebody, which we call blocks, and it dissolves. It is not real. And it loves to intimidate us because of that. It loves to control us and trick us and say, you know, whatever it might say to you, she's lying and blah, blah, blah. Like it, I've watched it, I've gotten to know it very well, and it is not anything. It's not real because Jesus already defeated it. That's what he did on the cross. He defeated all the negative energy. That's what he did. So now we have the ability to let in negative beliefs and negative energy because we have free will. I prayed about the election last night to Jesus, and he told me that you have free will. So I knew like there's a chance that Trump might win because we're being taught a lesson. You know, we have free will. Okay. But when we look at ourselves, how he might be mirroring something in us, when we look at the choice of good and evil we're making every day for love, for fear or fearlessness, for what we believe in, this is like really calling us to be really strong in that and making us stronger, forcing us to be stronger. And it's really important that you do that for yourself. I'm going to be someone who keeps talking about this. I'm going to keep going. And I think that is a victory, to be honest. It's a victory to choose love at any point in your life. It is a victory to understand that the victory already happened 2,000 years ago. Like that is, I think the thing that I see a lot with like this struggle between, what seems like a struggle between good and evil, even though good always wins. Historically it always wins, and it always will win. Eventually it will. Is that like we don't understand that negative energy has already been defeated. Like when something like this happens, we do kind of get into like doomsday mode, or like we go into fear. And I want you to realize that that's what it wants you to do. Like that's, if you, even if you're a Democrat or you voted for Kamala or you really wanted her to win, if you go into fear right now, that's choosing the fear side. You see what I mean? So you have to really be adamant that you're going to create your own victory, because God's in charge and Trump is not God. So what is there for you to fear? I'm not saying that we're going to not have things put in our face that are unpleasant and are going to force us to change and learn. And we're going to see, again, like the rape note, the analogy I keep using in this video, but like you will see it. And it's going to force you to stay strong. I want you to think about the saints today. I read the Medjugorje message. Mary, the mother of Jesus, appears once a month on the 25th of each month in a small country in Europe called Medjugorje. And she gives a message every month. And I read the message today because I wanted to know, what did she say in October, on October 25th? And she said, really get close to the saints. You know, pray with them. They will show you the path to holiness, because that is what this is about, you guys. Like, we don't live on earth for things to be perfect. We live on earth to grow. And do we need a female president? Absolutely. Should we have female presidents for the next 100 years to balance things out? Yeah, we should. And we will at some point. But we're in a transition, you know, about this right now. And I encourage you to think about the saints. Google the saints, get to know the saints. Watch your world. The saints will honestly show up around you. You'll start seeing like St. Anthony or St. Jude, or you're going to see people wearing medals. You're going to see statues. You're going to see words or names. You're going to see them once you open yourself up to this. I encourage you to do this, to stay strong, because they are so fascinating. Because I want you to think about their lives, which didn't always look victorious on the surface, but were inner victories, because they're saints now. A lot of the saints were martyred. That's how they became saints. A lot of the saints were, you know, went through tremendous struggle. And that's how they developed their faith in God. That's how they taught people about God. And was it always a struggle? No. There were miracles. There were incredible things that happened. So sometimes you need, I'm just saying, I think this is something like that. I think this is a moment where it's like, this could be turned into a giant positive. This could be turned into something that makes you stronger. This could be turned into an opportunity for you to choose fearlessness more adamantly, for you to show up, for you to be closer with the people that, you know, believe what you do. And to not, it's difficult for me to not fight, you know. I almost feel like it is sort of a feeling of fight, because one thing I know about negative energy too is that you can't just let it fester, and you can't just pretend it's not there. Kind of like I did when I was in the apartment. I learned my lesson, you know. And now, actually, I want to say about that is that now when people show me that they're abusive, I believe them faster, because I sort of just didn't want to believe it. And now I actually, like, the first time somebody shows me something, I go, okay, you're probably abusive. And if I stay around you, I'm choosing to be around an abusive person. I understand that now. You become smarter through these lessons. So I think there's a lot going on. I think we're going to be shown a lot. And I want to encourage you in this moment to not despair, because that's choosing the team that you don't want to be on. Choose fearlessness. Choose to stay strong. Choose to get stronger. Choose to fight harder. And choose to tell the truth more, and choose to show up, and choose to share the love and the strength and the fearlessness that you have inside of you for you and others. But really, I want you to know this is a choice that you're making between good, evil, love, hate, fearlessness, fear, in your own spirit. We all make the choice for ourselves, and that's what Jesus told me last night. You know, we have free will. What are you going to choose? You have free will. You still have free will, no matter who's in the White House. And you always will. I want you to live a happy, charmed, you know, love-filled life. And being the person that you want to be requires you to be a very strong person. So look at situations like this, whether it's this election or something else, as something that is making you strong, because that is the truth. That is the truth. And one of my favorite Bible verses is, good people are as fierce as a lion. So good people, and I know I'm talking to a good people right now, you are fierce as a lion, and you have to stay fierce. You can't, you're not fierce if someone gets elected and you lay down like, oh, it's over. No, that's not what we're doing. You get to show who you are. You get to show that you don't let negativity, you don't let it control you, right? So don't give in to agreeing with somebody who is a rapist and a misogynist and racist. Don't give in to temptation to just be part of the whole whatever's happening. Stay strong. This is like, if we are who we say we are, if we are about love and fearlessness, then there is no moment better than this one to be about that. I will say that. And I will show up. And sometimes you're going to feel a little bit uncomfortable because you're disagreeing with people openly. I feel that right now. But you know what? I also feel good inside. And that's the feeling that you want to look for. I want to end on something that I was thinking about. Because throughout literature, throughout movies, throughout history, like I said, love always conquers hate. It always will. It already did when Jesus was on the cross. He literally got rid of all the negativity. It can't win. That's why it messes with us, okay? In your life and in the bigger picture, what's going on, that's why it does that. Listen, Harry Potter, okay? One of the most popular book series of all time. What did we learn from Harry Potter? We had Voldemort, okay? Trump is like Voldemort, okay? In this analogy, in this example. It seemed like you couldn't defeat Voldemort at one point, and he kept coming back, right? It's like, I thought I got rid of you. What? Of course, even reading the series, you know that he's going to get defeated, okay? Because we know this in our souls. Love does conquer hate every time. And also, what in that book was stronger than Voldemort the entire time? Love. Harry was protected by this thing that, it got rid of Voldemort for a long time. Her love for him. That's how strong love is. So are you going to be someone who's about love, knowing that it is stronger? And knowing that there is no real battle, it's already won. And you just have to stay in that lane. That's what we're being called to do. Stay in that lane of love. Don't get swayed. Don't get scared. Don't get intimidated. It's only 4 years. And we're going to see a lot that gets revealed to us and everybody. And we're going to get stronger. We're going to learn. And we're going to change. But I want your change to be that you become more loving, that you become more of what you know is right, that you fight harder for the truth, that you know that the truth is the truth is the truth is the truth is the truth, and it's eternal, and you know that love is the truth. And Harry does defeat Voldemort. Would the story be as good if he just defeated him when he was a baby? No. So sometimes, life has these stories where it's like things come back, like Trump is back, oh my God. But what are we going to do about it? Did Harry just kind of go like, oh my God, he keeps coming back, I'm going to run away? No, the fight is the interesting part. And that's the part that, you will be victorious. But I want you to know the real victory really happens within. It really does. And I really felt like the victory was going to happen. And I really thought it was going to be an outer victory. It wasn't an energetic reading. It was just me feeling like, of course she has to win. But now I'm seeing, because again, the spiritual world works in mysterious ways, it's an inner victory for us. It's an opportunity for inner victory. And connect to the saints. I feel like it's a really good thing to do. Learn about them. Learn about how here on earth we become saints through many things that are on the surface struggles, but we're always safe because God's in charge. God is still in charge. And we're going to be okay. We all will. So stay in the lane that you know is the truth. And only you can make that choice. But I hope that this video helped you. So if it did, let me know. You can check out my recent interview with Helki Rain. I'm going to put that in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I'm here for you. If you want to do a consult with me, my link is in the description, and my email as well if you want to talk to me. So thanks so much for watching. Lots of love. God bless the USA.